All right, Tyson, man, appreciate the time. Get you on the show for the first time. This is your second fight in the UFC. First thing before we start, I wanted to ask you about the best surfer. Who is the best surfer between you and Ricky?
I just took Ricky for the very first time, so it's no question. But at the same time, he was able to get up off of his first time, which is a pretty tough feat in itself doing the first time. So yeah, no question, I'm way better at surfing than him.
Having Ricky, with you with many camps, you guys are close. You guys are very close training partners. But off the mats, is the friendly competition serious between you two?
Always video games, eating, drinking, it don't matter. We all got some sort of competition going on, and we're always trying to one up each other. So it's a nonstop game between him and I, which just makes life fun in general.
Yeah, man, I think you need to have someone like that next to you, right, during these hard camps.
Yeah, I mean, we've always, from day one, we've always pushed each other to be a little bit better. We help each other, and I mean, we rode each other's coattails all the way to where we are today, which is we're both in the UFC.
Oh, definitely, man. It's a lovely thing that you guys are both in the UFC together at the same time. Now let's go to your debut, UFC New Mexico City. You took on Sergio Pettis. You went to the judges in that fight. Break down what you saw in that fight and some of your afterthoughts.
I got outpointed. That's pretty much what it came down to. I mean, I thought I was going to be able to get him to get into a firefight with me, but after he probably got caught with one or two punches, he played the route of scoring points, which was very smart on his part. But at the same time, I've never punched for points. Since I was 5 years old, I've never punched for points. I've always punched to take someone's head off, and it's a hard habit to break, but I got to learn sometime, and I think we'll make some good adjustments for my next bout.
Well, in the UFC, there's a lot of different types of fighters, and certain fighters, their fighting style keeps them in the UFC for a long time, and then certain guys that they fight, they win, that keeps them in the UFC for a long time. What is your approach? Do you think that you would be the person that your fighting style is going to keep the fans wanting to watch you more and more?
I'm always on the verge of knocking somebody out. Left hand, right hand, you're going to get a kick. But I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for a long time. So, I'm trying to punch people's heads off. I'm trying to give the fans what they want. I'm never trying to just score little tip tap points or lay on top of somebody. I'm trying to entertain people over here.
You've been all around the world, man. You've been in enemy territory, but was the UFC experience a little different? Did you feel that it was a little different in the lead up?
No, I never had any jitters. I've already fought people that been in the UFC. I knocked out former #1 UFC flyweight contender Ali Bagutinov in Moscow.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big event that they had out over there too. And I remember going into that fight, and I was like, I think I told my coach Charles or Ricky, I was like, is it weird that I'm not even nervous? And it's like, it's another day. It's another day.
Pettis, after that fight, he went over to Bellator. Was that move, did that surprise you a little bit, or were you not even shocked at all?
I knew that was his. I was his last fight on his contract, so he was a free agent to do whatever he wanted to. I'm pretty sure they paid him a little bit more in Bellator, and man, did he have a really good Bellator debut over there. Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to cut the weight anymore. I think Bellator doesn't even have a flyweight division, so he's at bantamweight now.
It's their lightest weight class was 135. Because when I was supposed to have fought for Bellator, it was at 135, and I want to say they've had a couple of bouts at 120 at flyweight, if I'm not mistaken.
They have.
They have. I don't know why they don't want to bring that weight class around, because I mean there's a ton of good flyweights that are just a little bit too small for 135. So I mean, open it up. 125 is where it's at.
Yeah, there's a lot of flyweights out there. Do you ever think about moving up to bantamweight in the future, or flyweight is your weight class and you die there?
Yeah. I've I started off my mixed martial arts career at 135,
Mhm.
and which was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
But we back then I don't even remember a lot of us fighters cutting too much weight. And then as time went on, a lot of the wrestlers came in and they brought that weight the weight cutting experience into play into MMA. And then if somebody does it, everybody got to do it because mixed martial arts, unlike boxing, it does require a little bit of size, a little bit of strength when it comes to like the grappling. So my last few fights before dropping down to flyweight, I'll come back into the cage and I'll be outweighed by like 10, 15 pounds. And uh, any combative athlete would know that even a couple of pounds is a huge advantage and a difference, let alone when I grabbed onto the guys when they're like 10, 15 pounds heavier than me. I was like, whoa, this guy's kind of big.
Your debut was at the end of September. It has been about 5 months. You're gonna return back into the Octagon. What have you been doing during that time? So to say, what have you been doing before you get into this camp?
Um, I went right back to exercising, training. I've always never stopped working out. I've always stayed in shape. I would have liked to have fought a little bit sooner because I didn't come out with any injuries after my debut. So I stayed up in the gym, lived life pretty clean, pretty healthy, couple cheat meals here and there. But yeah, when they gave me the call for this, I was already ready.
Back to back top 10 fighters. The UFC is not sugarcoating any matchups for you. I think they're doing that because they know that you fought some of the best guys in the world. And do I think it's better for you because it kind of gives you a quicker path to the title, right?
Of course. I mean, I've in 2012 I knocked out a number six guy in the world. 2017 I knocked out a number one, not a former number one UFC contender in the world. So I've always been there. It's just that I've never fought in the UFC under the UFC banner. Just always across seas. So either they love me or they hate me. So they're giving me these top guys to fight. But when you're fighting in the UFC, you never get an easy fight. You know, so bring them all.
Kai Carl France, a guy that has somewhat of a similar path as you. He's fought all over the world before he actually got signed to the UFC. Thoughts on his run so far in the promotion?
He's doing very well. He just had a little skid. I mean, it was a really good battle against Brandon Moreno that they had. He went back and forth, but I think Brandon edged it out when it came to like the second and the third round. But it was a really good battle. I like his style. I feel like we're gonna have a firefight, and everybody's gonna be up on top of their feet, screaming and cheering whenever when we meet up in the middle.
The style matchup is something that I think they were looking at, and they put it together because of that. And you're from Hawaii. You've been living in Hawaii for a long time. New Zealand is massive islander community. Hawaii, massive islander community. Do you feel that energy?
I feel it. I feel it good. I know there's a huge Polynesian population over there, which Hawaii's Polynesians as well too. So just a hop skip away. Um, he's gonna be bringing his island. I'm bringing my island. So we're gonna meet up in the middle and see who comes out on top.
Do you feel like there's still a somewhat of an underlying urgency for the flyweights, even though the UFC seems like they're gonna keep the division alive? But is there, with the roster not as deep as other divisions?
Yeah, I don't ask any questions. I
Mhm.
just I just come to fight. But at the same time, yeah, there's the roster in the flyweight division is pretty shallow. But at the same time, it's the best guys in the world that they got at flyweight division. So like I said, I mean, I got number five, and now I got number eight. And I mean, just even looking at the division itself, there would never be there. It's all top guys in the world. So I'm never expecting an easy day, but I'm pretty sure that the UFC wants to keep around that flyweight division. It's coming around now. Before, probably people didn't want to watch because you got these little guys running around and scrambling, without a lot of finishes. But nowadays, everybody's knocking everybody out. So that I think that's the biggest thing that they want to do. People like to see knockouts, right? So flyweight division is coming around, and I'm known to knock people out. So keep it alive, keep it alive.
Yeah, and Kai Carl France, he's the guy that's gonna meet you in the middle and not really try to outpoint you, which is a beautiful thing, in your eyes, right?
Oh yeah, he's gonna bring his good right hand. I'm bringing my good right hand, and we'll see who's is better.
Now, on a week after your fight, UFC Norfolk, you got Benavidez versus Figueredo for the vacant flyweight title. Do you see this fight as an exciting matchup?
Oh yeah, I mean they're number one and number two. I'd probably knock both of those guys out. So well, you know, go get their belt. Hold it ready for me. Uh, I'll be a coming.
How do you see that fight playing out? Do you see Benavidez taking that fight, or do you see Figueredo? I believe a lot of people believe he's the underdog. So do you see an upset?
Man, I mean, when Benavidez has been fighting top guys for I don't know how many years now. So he definitely has the experience edge. But it's mixed martial arts. Anything can happen on any given day. So uh, quick submission, quick knockout. Like I always say, it's always better to be lucky than it is to be good in this sport. I don't care who wins.
You're just looking for the winner.
Yeah, I want the winner.
Now, 2020, when you look at it, you got this fight coming up, which is against, I think he's number 7 or number 8 in the division. You take him out. Basically, you're number 7, number 8 in the division now. And what do you see? What do you envision for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I beat Ty. I'm in the top 10 spot. I can probably call out whoever I want to, just because they've been having like flyweight fights like every other. So I mean, I'm gonna have to go look and see on the roster who's available for a butt whooping after this. But 2020, yeah, I feel like there's gonna be big things going on.
All right, one last thing before I let you go. In the world of combat sports, there's so many different types of competitors, right? Do you feel like yourself right now in your career, you're more of a martial artist or a prize fighter?
I've always been just a scrappy person, you know. I could care less about the money. I feel like I do it because I just love the competition. One on one, man to man, hand to hand, or I mean, woman to woman, hand to hand. There's no competition that gets any better than that. There's nobody else that can lose but you. There's nobody else that can win but you. So I mean, everything's on the line. Pride, your name, where you're from. So man, it gives you so much like anxiety, nervousness, and jitters. But you gotta learn to love it.
So you love just the feeling of it, just like that adrenaline.
Yeah, I'm an adrenaline junkie. Anything that excites me, I'm all for it.
All right, man. February 23rd, UFC on ESPN Plus 26, Auckland, New Zealand. Tyson, appreciate the time, man, and good luck on the fight, and good luck on everything that you're doing inside and outside the cage.
Thanks, John.